What's going on, Bulls fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bulls Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related. And on today's quick update episode, we're going to talk about Lavar Ball's comments about Lonzo. We'll get into all that, plus do a little bit of dabbling into the Kevin Durant. Reportedly, Boston has some interest there. We'll get into all that and more right after this.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bulls Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bulls news and content.
All right, Bulls fans. So first off, let me thank you guys for tuning in to Chicago Bulls Central. We got a quick update episode for you guys today. Lavar Ball was on Davin Kaplan's show on ESPN 1000, and he mentioned that Lonzo will be ready to go by the start of the season. Now, as you guys know, with everything, I always say take what Lavar Ball says with a grain of salt, especially when it pertains to other people's kids. But when it pertains to his own kids, I like to think that he has some inside information there. So this is probably one of the best updates we've gotten as far as Lonzo Ball, but it's still not anything for certain. I'm not going to take anything, as far as more than face value until we get some official news or see him out there. And we probably won't get that until training camp. I really do expect that when it comes to Lonzo Ball, his knee injury, we won't get a for sure fire update on that until the start of training camp. I think that's when everything will start to take shape. That's when the Bulls will probably, they'll have Lonzo in the building, probably go have him go through drills, things like that. Their medical staff has already been keyed in on a lot of what's going on with Lonzo Ball, but they'll really have a chance to look at him day in, day out, see exactly how he's responding to working out and ramping up, things like that. Is Lonzo still going to face some discomfort? Yeah, I think that discomfort thing is going to be there for quite a while, especially when you look at how long Lonzo's been outside of basketball. But this is at least a positive update going in the right direction when it comes to Lonzo Ball and that knee injury. Is one of the biggest question marks for the Bulls offseason right now. With betting on continuity, you want to have everyone in the building, right? If you're going to bet on continuity, you want that continuity to be there, meaning that you want everybody who is on that roster to be healthy, ready to go by the start of the season. So with Lavar Ball saying that Lonzo will be ready to go by the start of the season, like I said, it gives a positive update, not a surefire one. I'm not going to say let's take it as absolute fact right now, but it does point to things possibly going in a better direction than some think, me included. Like I even said on my earlier video today about Ayo Dosunmu, one of the reasons why it was hard for me to kind of predict and judge what I wanted to see from Ayo going into next season is because we just don't know what role Ayo's going to play. We know he's going to get minutes. We know he's going to get considerable minutes, but he could have possibly started off and can still possibly start off the season as our starting point guard. So with getting an update from Lavar Ball that seems like things are going in the right direction, it brings some optimism, but I won't say that we should automatically right now just think it's all good to go. Let's wait and see. Let's process. Let's see how it continues to develop. But I don't think until training camp, maybe a little before training camp, but I don't think we're going to get a for sure update until then. But let me know down below what you guys think. Do you think that Lavar Ball is blowing smoke like Lavar Ball tends to do? Or do you think that Lavar Ball is giving an honest update and that, maybe his medical staff, he already talked about earlier in the offseason, Lonzo coming there. One thing about Lavar Ball, as much as I do, he's a big personality. He's going to say what he has to say to get attention. But he is a damn good trainer. And I do think that, if Lonzo has been working out with him, if he's been doing some things with Lonzo, Lavar could be on point here. We'll continue to monitor it and see it. Everything that we've gotten from official Bulls staff is that it seems like there's a lot of uncertainty there. So I'm not gonna take everything Lavar said for 100% fact, but hopefully that means things are trending that way. We'll see what it means. Good to have a positive update in regards to Lonzo Ball at some point. So I'm all down for that. But let me know what you guys think about it down below. Now, one thing I did not talk about in my earlier video that I'm going to go ahead and talk about here as well is Boston's interest in Kevin Durant. Now, we talked about this a little bit on Locked On Bulls, in which I was more positive on it. Pat, the designer, is a little bit more down on this, just, wondering what it means for the longevity. But one thing that I'll say is that this type of trade would change the outlook of the East. Does that make Boston the clear favorites in the East? I say yes. When you look at the deal that's rumored, it's built around Jaylen Brown, possibly 5 first-round picks, 3 unprotected in, I believe, 24, 27. I can't remember, but it's 3 unprotected first-round picks as well as 2 pick swaps of picks in between those years. So that's a hell of a package for Kevin Durant. Does that get the job done? it remains to be seen if Brooklyn is motivated to move Kevin Durant before the start of the season, and they don't really want to wait until that trade deadline, wait until January when, some of the players that were just signed in this offseason are available to be moved, then it's probably the best deal out there for Kevin Durant. We'll see if it ends up going that way. I really don't know how to judge it. The Kevin Durant trade is one of the biggest chips that can fall during the season that can really change everything. Like Kevin Durant moving to Boston, for example, changes everything. But per NBA Central, per a lot of analysts, that right now it seems like the Celtics are a serious contender to land Kevin Durant, pair him with Jason Tatum. They already brought in Brogdon. We'll see who other players. Marcus Smart's still going to probably be on that team as well. But what else they have to give up for Kevin Durant? But those 5 first-round picks, 3 of them unprotected, that's huge. You don't usually get that many unprotected picks in a trade, even for a superstar. Really, the Rudy Gobert trade kind of set the market and changed the market value of how we look at the number of unprotected picks that could go into a trade. But with that being said, if the Celtics do end up landing it, and it seems like the offer is going to be built around Jaylen Brown, Derek Wright, and a bunch of draft picks. Now, a deal like this was declined by, it looks like, Brooklyn earlier. Do they have to include now Marcus Smart to sweeten that water? Is it going to be a little bit more picks, maybe more pick swaps or something down the road? Jaylen Brown, we don't know if this is necessarily a reaction to this, but did tweet out SM8, shaking my head, maybe to him being shocked. We'll see. But as of right now, this is the pending trade that could change the whole landscape of the Eastern Conference. And don't be surprised if this deal does go down. If Boston does land Kevin Durant, you see other teams in the East make moves, maybe not immediately, but maybe after, like I said, after that January 15th mark, where a lot of players who sign this offseason can be traded. You may also see it at the trade deadline. It's really going to start maybe another new arms race in the Eastern Conference. And, for a lot of people that were hoping the Bulls were going to be able to get into it, I've told you guys since the beginning, there was almost no chance that the Bulls get into the Kevin Durant sweepstakes, considering what Brooklyn wanted back. This solidifies that. But in the Eastern Conference, there's already teams have made improvements this season. This would almost change the Boston Celtics from going to a title contender to a title favorite. And how that changes the landscape of the Eastern Conference is going to be hugely interesting. Can't wait to see how that works out, but there's a lot of things up in air. Let me know down below, do you think this deal ends up getting done? And do you think Brooklyn is getting a great package back for a player like Kevin Durant to be able to pair Jaylen Brown with Ben Simmons, with Kyrie, Kyrie's already said he's committed to staying with the Brooklyn Nets for the rest of the season. But does that give the Brooklyn Nets enough to continue building around that core? And, Kyrie probably still going to be gone at the end of the season, but the Brooklyn Nets would have a nice player in Brown and Simmons, if Simmons can get his head in the game, to continue to build that team around. Let me know what you guys think about that one down below. Again, as always, like I like to end everything on, thank you for listening to Chicago Bulls Central. If you want to follow the show, you can do so at Bulls Central Pod on every social media platform. You can also send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, bullcentralpod@gmail.com. Lastly, if you want to leave a text and our voicemail, number to do so, 773-270-2799. And like I like to end every episode on, go Bulls. Love you guys. Peace, y'all.
This has been a presentation of the Break Media.